slideshow running. Alright, I guess we'll get started. Little introduction, my name's Bernie Garcia. I also go by SoCal Sonic, Surfer BRG. There's so many different names. And thank you all for making it, actually. I'm surprised to get a bigger crowd this time. So, this panel is just basically going to cover mascot costumes and how I got into the furry fandom thanks to the mascot industry and stuff. And it's going to start with slideshow, of course. So, in this panel, just going to be talking about mascot costumes, a little journey into the furry fandom I've had, and how I got started. A little bit about me was I was born and raised in Oceanside, but after a while ended up moving to Hawaii with family. And then after I got done with high school and stuff, came back to California because I wanted to pursue some dreams. A few of my hobbies are including like YouTube videos to like work on computers, gaming, doing research. I also like going on adventures and stuff, so I also like to travel. And I'm also on the spectrum a little bit, so I do have a little bit ADD, autism, OCD, Asperger's, so I might be a little sloppy, but I do my best to express myself and check stuff. I work multiple jobs right now. A few of my jobs are basically a YouTube content creator. I'm also an eBay seller, so kind of been using it just to get rid of baggage or stuff that I don't need. And of course, I work for a handler and a performer for the Mascot organization. So sometimes I'll get called if they need me a handler or guide, or if they need me to step in a suit and just have fun and just entertain the crowd. How it all started basically, like, from when I did the research, this was like a furry, basically larger than life foam head mascots, but mostly known for like sports and community events and stuff. But, you know, it's quite a modern development. They said it started in French opera from 1880s called La Mascotte. You pronounce that. It was an opera. It was about some one that was a farmer who was down on his luck, and basically, you know, a girl came to visit her. As soon as it appears, the farmer's crops started doing well. And in English, mascotte became mascot, and then soon after 1880s, up to the present day, it's now known as good luck, linked often like good luck for like teams or companies and stuff, and to get your message out there and stuff. And, you know, it's also used for like sports clubs as of today, and, you know, some use animals, but, you know, they're all like, no, we want some costumes, and, you know, like spectators. Most sports teams like use them and stuff, strike fear in the hearts of their opponents. They can also be toony style, like a cartoon character or a video game and stuff. And also the invention was triggered around the Muppets from the 1960s. And as of today, you know, they're now used in states, countries, sports teams, organizations, business, Olympic, Commonwealth Games, and they're still finding ways to improve on the suits and the technology and stuff. There's a couple different types of suits. A few most common ones are the inflatable ones, what you use a battery pack you secure, and you gotta secure everything else, and then make sure you have the battery charged, and then fire it up and let it inflate. Well, I'm glad you can make it. And there's also the traditional furry ones, which is just straight up padding, zipper, gloves, and all sorts of that crazy stuff. How I got into the furry fandom through mascots, this is a funny story, interesting story actually. I was in middle school, high school, had my own computer, just use it for school projects, research and stuff. And one time I stumbled across this website called the Fursuit Archive. And besides, they had like archives of furry con photos from like the 90s all the way to 2000s. They also had some albums of mascot suits. And I was just taking a look at them, and I was like, oh, well, I was like, what is this archive? And when I was 16, my first two suits were a Sonic the Hedgehog, my version 1. This right now I brought was my version 4, and I used to have a Barney the Dinosaur suit. Plus there's like, and plus, you know, mascot suits are also an alternative to fursuiting if you can't like get a fursuit. So they usually welcome them like crazy. Fast forward a few years later, attended over like 26, 27 different cons, you know, followed by a few volunteer gigs in 2019, like Sonic Revolution, which is a Sonic the Hedgehog event I've been part of. One time the organizer reached out to me and said like, oh hey, can you wear your mascot suit? Because you're the only person I know who has a Sonic mascot. So I was like, sure, I got you guys covered. And then around the same year, I got offered a job from the Mascot organization. And I'm also still viral on YouTube because I've done a lot of suit-up videos that have gone like hits like crazy, like, you know, from unboxing to just trying them out to, you know, just having some fun. And these are some collage of some suits I owned in the past. Wish I could save them all, but unfortunately a lot of them were all like, I'm running out of space, I need to make room for new suits, so sometimes you gotta let go of something if you want a new suit.
That pose suit looks pretty good, actually. The middle right.
Yeah, that was from Kung Fu Panda. I think that was
Yeah.
a China-made one. I found it on eBay for like 160.
They
But
said you made all these.
I was curious. Most of them I got on eBay, and I got like suit makers, and sometimes I'll find like people like going, "Oh, hey, I'm letting go of the suit. Do you want it?" Or I was like, "Sure, I'll take a look at it." Yeah, and these are some gigs I've worked through the Mascot organization. A lot of past ones I've worked. Yeah, and this year I've completed about like 17 gigs. I'm hoping to try to complete 20 before the year ends. And a lot of these were like in past, because I think right when COVID started going away and stuff started reopening, 2022, I started getting the bookings like crazy. And then last year I was getting booked like crazy, and I'm like, sure, I'll try it out. These are some places where you guys get your hands on some suits, actually. eBay and Facebook Marketplace are my #1 place I recommend, and thrift stores as well, or even go through like private listings or bargain huntings, like connections. You might have a friend that's like, hey, I'm letting go of a suit, do you want it? I'd be like, sure. If I recommend a U.S. maker, I recommend Olinko and Face Makers in Maryland. They've been the like top of the line suits in the U.S. and they actually do really good. I actually own a dragon by Olinko, and that was really cool. And I did own a tiger, but I had to let that go. But Olinko makes some top of the line suits. I do say Craigslist is kind of like be careful, because you never know if you're going to get scammed or taken for a ride, or if someone tries to pull something sketchy. Like I remember one time when I went to go buy a suit on Craigslist, I made sure to have like a friend or parent come along, just so you know I don't get hit. And China-made ones are kind of hit or miss. Like the quality was not that great. Like sometimes the suits would wear out easily, or sometimes the suit felt like it was in shambles. And I also recommend my friend Lewis by Claudio Mascon, my friend Gloria by Yasmin. They're both my Facebook friends. They're also on Instagram as well. And they're usually my go-to when it comes to working on, like buying suits and stuff. And the slideshow, and I'll actually get to